Okay, I delivered this lesson earlier on today, and a couple of people said, "Can I take a quick video of it or something similar and just put it on YouTube so you can see in your own time, in your leisure, what I'm suggesting." So the first thing is in regards to the drawing skills that we learned is the use of a pencil. I would personally hold a pencil like this, okay, not like some of you guys now write in sort of like that or something. I would really say that try not to sort of hold your pencil, you know, sort of like with a, you know, out of your sort of coming out your fingers like this. It's just really difficult to draw, and therefore you really want to be using these two fingers and also your thumb, and so you've got much more sort of motor control over that pencil. In regards to where you hold the pencil, that's going to probably differ depending upon what line you're trying to draw. You're probably going to be holding it right down the bottom for something detailed, and if you're drawing a line, for example, you can see my hand just moves up the pencil, and so I've got probably less control, but I'm going to create a smoother line. So what I'm not going to get is a line sort of like this. I'm going to get something which is much nicer. So that's about holding the pencil. If we go on to actually drawing a line, you know, a lot of you will just start drawing like this and just drawing really dark, hard lines, and everything will be drawn in this same line, and it'll be a sort of drawing like this. What you don't get is really any differential, and your drawings don't look as nice as if you control your line a bit more. And what I would suggest is you start by just practicing doing really, really faint lines, which are construction lines, and then going over those lines just to make them a bit darker. And it's making those lines a bit darker, which then begins to sort of ink in, as it used to be called, the shape that you're trying to produce. Okay, with your pencil itself, you can tip it on its side, so you're using a bit more of the actual lead. When we're talking about that, actually, we should just say that I've got this sharpened by the school pencil sharpener, and that means that I've got quite a shallow sharpening angle, I suppose you'd say, which I quite like. I prefer it if the pencil, if we're drawing a pencil, has a shallower angle. When you get them, and many pencil sharpeners, they will sharpen them a bit more like this, and so I prefer my angle to be shallower. Anyway, that's a personal preference, I suppose. Right, next up, we've talked a little bit about holding, we've talked about the actual line you produce, and we've talked about also, you know, just giving you those construction lines, and once you've done those construction lines, to actually choose which lines you want. Those lines generally will be the outside, okay, and it's what's called thick thin line technique. Can you see how, as I'm drawing this, I'm moving the piece of paper? Many people try and move their body to accommodate the angle they're trying to draw, but really you should be moving the piece of paper. And also I do what's called ghosting in. So if I want to go from this point here to this point here, I can just have a go at it and see, you know, oh, did I get there? Oh, yeah, I got there in the end, but it's a bit of a funny old line. Or what I can do is I can make sure that my hand knows exactly where it's going. And if it's done that journey a couple of times without actually touching the paper, I've got a much better chance, I think, of accurately putting that line in. And you can see, as I'm doing it, I'm using different parts of my hand to pivot. So I'm using this part, whatever that is, you know, that part, I'm pivoting on that to give me curves. I'm pivoting on my wrist here to give me curves. I'm pivoting on my elbow to give me a shallower curve, or indeed I can try and draw straight lines. When you draw straight lines from your shoulder, what effectively you're doing is you're drawing a curve, and so what you've got to do is you've got to compensate by actually pushing the pencil out. And so as I come in there, what I'm doing is I'm effectively pulling the pencil in and pushing the pencil out again. And what that does is it accommodates the actual curve your arm is making. All right. Anyway, they're the sort of logistics behind drawing. And it's really a matter of practice. But what I would say is try and get away from these dark, horrible dark lines and really practice drawing nice crisp lines. Another thing what we don't want to see is this sort of thing going on. That sort of arty thing going on when you're drawing. I'm not interested in that. The other thing I'm not interested in is this. So when you draw a line, you draw about 1,500 of the lines. What I want to see is working out where we want to go. One line coming down and then one line going in. If you want to go back over it, fine. I'm not worried at all about construction lines. Great. You can see the construction lines here and here. They just add to the picture, make it look even better. So look, I hope that helps in regards to how you should be approaching a drawing. I'll go on now to explain a little bit about what I call isometric sketching, isometric drawing, two-point perspective, call it what you will. But we'll be going through that in the next video. All right.